Decided it's time to finally put up my top 10 films of 2014 video. Now, the reason that I'm putting this up so late is that living in England, we basically have to wait to get a lot of the movies that are released sort of late 2014. You know, it's always released, they come out, or they tend to come out in like January, February, at the beginning of the year. So I have to wait a little bit to sort of play catch up with movies. So I don't like to sort of put up a video of top 10s without having seen, you know, a lot of the movies that get the hype and appear on a lot of top 10 lists. You know, I like to see those and sort of decide whether or not they make the list and stuff. So that's why it's a little bit late anyway. What I'll do, a lot of these I have actually reviewed for my channel as they've come out, so for those that I have reviewed already, you know, I won't talk too much about them, and for the others I'll give you some brief thoughts and impressions about them. So at number 10 is a film that had a really troubled release and still hasn't made it over here to the UK. I actually had to import this one to see it, and that is Bong Joon-ho's English language debut, Snowpiercer, starring Chris Evans. Now, it's basically a film about a new ice age that's brought upon by a scientific experiment sort of gone awry. And all of humanity, or what's left of humanity, exists on a train run by a perpetual motion engine which never stops. And this train operates on a class system. You know, the poor people are at the back and the rich people are at the front. It's about Chris Evans. He's basically been living in the back for years, decides to charge through the train, take the front, and claim his rightful place at the front of the train. Also stars Jamie Bell and Ed Harris, John Hurt and Tilda Swinton, who's unrecognisable in this. The film is fantastic. I'm a fan of Bong Joon-ho and his style. What I love about his style is no matter how sort of gruesome and violent a film that he makes can be, there's always an undercurrent of dark humour, and that's definitely the case here. I love the fact that it plays with the theme of classism and how that affects people. It's, you know, dressed up as a sci-fi action movie, but it's a theme that probably, maybe more so in England than even in the States, is quite prevalent. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Chris Evans is quite frankly amazing in it. I mean, there are scenes towards the end of the movie where he gives a sort of monologue, and it's probably the best performance he's ever given. You know, he does stuff that you've not seen him do before as an actor, and proves, you know, why he's a leading man. So I thought Chris Evans was great. The film as a whole is just fantastic from beginning to end. Visually stunning, very unique. The action's very well directed, but Bong Joon-ho always really does direct action very well. So it's just a very well-rounded movie. So that's number 10, Snowpiercer. Number 9 is The Lego Movie, which is my favourite animated movie from last year. It's directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, who did the Jump Street reboot movies, and basically follows the character of Emmett, who goes on an adventure with a few other friends, and basically he's like a construction worker who has no real destiny or anything like that. He's just completely normal, follows the rules and code of conduct and all the rest of it, and then gets drawn into this wacky adventure. Emmett's played by Chris Pratt, and that's basically the sort of really brief synopsis of the film. The reason it makes the list is that, well, to be honest, before I saw it I thought, is it just going to be like a 90-minute advert for Lego? But Phil Lord and Christopher Miller really make it more than that. It has some real themes, you know, themes of originality and sort of creativity, and it's quite a heartfelt movie, and it's laugh out loud funny. You know, there are certain scenes of the Lego Movie that had me sort of pissing my sides laughing while I was watching it, and it's one that I've rewatched since on Blu-ray and absolutely adore. It's just such a well done film. The animation's fantastic. Will Arnett as Lego Batman is basically comedy genius. Is it really worth giving him his own movie? That's another matter, but in this he's great. All the voice actors are fantastic. You even have Nick Offerman, who plays Ron Swanson in Parks and Rec, is in this as well. and it's just a fantastic, hilarious movie. So the Lego Movie is there at number 9. At number 8 we have Gone Girl, David Fincher's latest movie based on the book by Gillian Flynn. She also wrote the screenplay. I've reviewed this movie already, so I won't say too much about it, but it's essentially a mystery thriller in the style of films that we used to get more so in the 90s, and is really, really engrossing from beginning to end. It's just fantastic. It's David Fincher's sort of return to form after The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo kind of wasn't very good. It's great. I do have a couple of problems with it in terms of gender representation, but putting that to one side, it's a great whodunit thriller. I loved it. So that's Gone Girl, and that was number 10, 9, 8. At number 7 we have Birdman, which as you will have seen I've recently reviewed, so not to say much about that, but it's basically Michael Keaton's return to the Hollywood A-list. It's visually stunning, a drama about a washed up franchise actor who's now trying to make it on Broadway. Features fantastic performances from the entire cast, especially Michael Keaton and Edward Norton, who definitely play on their real life personas. So that's Birdman at number 7. At number 6 we have The Grand Budapest Hotel, a visually stunning and quite frankly hilarious movie by Wes Anderson. It's quite possibly his best movie all around. My favourite is still The Darjeeling Limited, but The Grand Budapest Hotel is great. I've already reviewed it for my channel, so if you want, go and check out that review. But it features a fantastic performance by Ray Fiennes, who is hilarious in it. And to be honest, I was thinking, like, what was the best sort of comedy I've seen recently? You know, what film made me laugh the most? It's The Grand Budapest Hotel. It's hilarious. At least I laughed sort of all the way through. It's a film I can't wait to revisit. I absolutely loved it. So that's Grand Budapest Hotel. Next, at number... what number are we up to? 1, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. At number 5 we have The Babadook, which is probably the most effective horror movie I've seen in the last couple of years. It's the first movie by Jennifer Kent. It's a film that deals with the idea of having a sort of shadow self and all the rest of these. A mother and her son being terrorised by a sort of demon spectre type thing. I've also reviewed this previously, so please go check out that review. But it's a film that doesn't rely on jump scares at all. It unsettles you, it unnerves you, it brings you to the edge of your seat, and then it sort of takes you all the way off your seat. It's a fantastic movie, genuinely frightening. It's one that stayed with me since I watched it in the cinema. The Babadook is great. I can't recommend it enough. At number 4 we have the first comic book movie to make the list, and that is Captain America the Winter Soldier. It makes the list because not only is it a terrific action thriller, it deals with themes that are a little bit deeper than you would normally see in this type of movie. Obviously it's the second Captain America film, but it's actually like the 9th Marvel movie. It deals with themes of surveillance, of how governments operate, the war on terror. It's such a layered film in a sense, and not only does it play with those themes, but it moves the Marvel Cinematic Universe forward in some really interesting directions. It introduces quite a few new characters who will no doubt stick around for future Avengers movies. Scarlett Johansson's really given the most opportunity to shine as Black Widow in this. It's just a great movie. It's almost like, in tone, it's like a 70s political thriller, but through the lens of a 1990s Michael Mann action movie. It's great. I really enjoyed it, and it's really rewatchable. I regularly go back to it. I really enjoy it. So that's Captain America the Winter Soldier. At number 3 we have Blue Ruin, which I've already reviewed, so please go check out that review. It's a fantastic drama about revenge, but the real life consequences of revenge that you don't often see in movies done this well. Blue Ruin, one of the surprises of last year. I absolutely loved it. It's got a fantastic performance by Macon Blair, and is just an all-around great movie. It's directed by Jeremy Saulnier, whose first movie, Murder Party, was like a little scene gem of a film. Blue Ruin's great. I can't wait to see what those guys do next. So that's Blue Ruin. At number 2, we have Guardians of the Galaxy, which is the first classic that I think Marvel have made. Now, I've already reviewed this as well, so I won't say too much about it, but it's absolutely fantastic. It's really full of lovable rogue characters, it's colourful, it's bright, it's funny, it's playing with its own sort of little corner of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so it's not too tied into everything else that's going on. But Guardians it's going to be this generation Star Wars until Episode 7 comes out. You know, this is a film that 40 years from now, kids who were around today are going to tell their kids about Guardians of the Galaxy and Rocket and Groot and all that. It's fantastic, so that's number 2. And at number 1 is Whiplash, which I've also recently reviewed. Which was a real surprise because I honestly thought Guardians would make the top of the list. I saw Whiplash, it blew me away. I had to digest it for a few days to make sure it wasn't a knee-jerk reaction, and I still feel the same way about it. Whiplash is without a doubt the most harrowing, the most exhilarating, and the most touching movie that I've seen last year. It moved me almost to tears, and exhilarated me in a way that no other movie has recently. I haven't had this kind of emotional reaction to a film since I saw The Dark Knight in cinemas in 2008, or whenever that was. Whiplash is great, it's my number 1, and I do feel it's the best movie of last year. So that's my list, which of course is very subjective. I hope you found it interesting. Please go check out the reviews for the movies that I've already done on my channel. The links will be down below in the description box. And thank you very much for watching. Please comment with what are your top 10 movies of last year. I'd be really interested to read your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.